Okay, this is a how-to training video on editing the year-round estimate template, excuse me. This template basically looks like the seasonal estimate template. However, we've got the months January through December included in this year-round estimate. Um, right now in my service, year-round service, I only include mowing and leaf cleanup. But you can include any services that you want. Here in Greenville, South Carolina, we do not get much snow or ice, so I don't even include any type of snow removal or ice removal in my year rounds. So when you see mowing and leaf cleanup in January and February, if you're in a state where there's a lot of snow, this might seem kind of crazy to you, leaf cleanup. Um, Even here in Greenville, South Carolina, there's not a lot of leaves to clean up, but I still include this in the service that I do when I go out to do a customer's yard. Um, October through February, I actually only show up to the customer's house one time a month. That's why you see number of services here. So I do all of this the same. You can include however you want to do your estimate. You can include the number of services, however many you want to do in each month. But just for the sake of this template training video, I've just added some of these services in here. And you can, again, put whatever services you want in the total year-round estimate. Notice here, these services, you can add more items. Let's say you do include, actually double click on the block section there and it'll open this edit screen. And this is an Excel spreadsheet inserted in Microsoft Word. But let's say you want to add uh, something in here. Let's say they want their crepe myrtles cut back, and they want you to add that into the year round, and you're willing to do that. And let's say you charge them. Let's say they have two crepe myrtles, and you charge $200 to cut them back at one service. So that will add, notice over here, that will add that service price to the total um, in the monthly service. And also, if you scroll all the way back down to the bottom, you'll see that it actually adds it to the year total. And I'll show you in just a few minutes of why that's important to have that totaled up for the year. So you can add any services in any of these months that you want to. I'm going to go ahead and delete this. I was just doing that for the sake of illustration, but I'm going to go ahead and delete that. So let's go down. Let's say in March, I went ahead and put hedge trimming. If you want to include hedge trimming in your year-round package deal, you can do that. Otherwise, you'll need to do a per service estimate, which you can watch my training video on that, and you can get my template for the per service estimate, which is very simple to do. But if you want to include it in the year round, you can add it in here in whatever month that you choose and the price, and it will add it into the monthly total uh, or the monthly per service uh, total here. Okay, now notice in April I had aerating. That's a good time to aerate warm season grasses in the springtime. Aerating Bermuda, zoysia, centipede. Okay, and notice here I have the mowing. I don't have any services included. So let's say in May that you have a customer that wants weekly mowing. Let's say they have Bermuda. Bermuda likes to be cut often. It's actually good to cut often. And if your customer agrees that they would like their grass cut every week, at an average of 4 times a month, let's say, and if you did it per service at $50 per service, this is what they would pay you for the month if you were to charge them $50 per service. Now I'll show you. It's a great way to sell the customer to get them to do a year round. If you show them what they would pay per service, and then you actually give them a discount for the year. So I'm just going to punch in here each of these months at $50 a cut. If they were to pay you to cut it each time, that this is how much they would pay you. September, my year rounds that are weekly, I start backing off in September because the grass is not growing quite as much. I back off to twice a month. Then October, I go back to one time a month. Okay, leaf cleanup, let's just pretend that this is a rather large yard that needs leaf cleanup, their leaves cleaned up, and they got a heavy amount. October, the leaves start falling here in South Carolina, and if I were to come out individually, a lot of times I charge quite a bit more for leaf cleanup. So let's say $150 at one service, and then the mowing is one service. Let's say November, one mowing service at one time a month at $50. Leaf cleanup, let's say this is a real heavy duty yard and I charge $200 that month to clean up their leaves at one service. Time that month, and December usually is about the same as November. The leaves are still falling. Let's say at 200 one time a month. Then I'll go back and punch in $50 at one time a month. Okay, now notice how this year total, I have calculated this in the actual estimate template here, so you don't need to change any of the formulas on this. This is already set correctly. You just punch in each individual service and what you would charge. Notice the year total would be $21.50 average monthly over 12 months. If you total the entire year and divide by 12, this would be their monthly cost. This is really good to be able to show the customer that each month, that the heavier months like October through December, you can see here if you had 50 and 200, you're $250 that they would pay you for that month if they were to just call you out individually to complete that service. But if they spread it out over 12 months, they can get their payments down. Even though they're doing it for 12 months, their payments will be spread out over a longer period of time. Now, what I do with my year rounds is I give them a pretty significant discount for going with the year round. So you'll see here I give anywhere from 10 to 15% discount. Now here I've got it set at 15%, and I'll show you how to change this if you want to change the percentage discount and the calculation. So at 15% off the year total, you have $1827.50 divided by 12 to create your 12 equal monthly payments at $152.29. I round to the nearest $5, so I would actually tell the customer it'll be $150 a month for 12 months out of the year. Now what you see is this total is so they can look at the total that they're paying per month and look to the left and see how much they would pay that month if they were to pay for the individual service. So they can actually see the discount that they're receiving. Now sometimes in certain months it looks like they're paying more on the monthly than they would in the per service area. But when you total for the entire year, divide by 12 and get a 15% discount, it's actually a much better deal for them to go with the year round instead of just calling you out, having to do individual services and them having to pay more. And then by the end of the year, if they used you a lot, they would have ended up paying more anyways. So I sell my customers, I get a lot of year-round customers by actually giving them this type of estimate where they can see it. Okay, so they'll see, okay, I can pay $150 a month and I get 15% discount for the total of the year if I go with the year round. Now what you can do is, let's say you don't want to give them a total 15% discount, you want to give them 10%. Okay, what you're going to do is go up here and just change this. This has nothing to do with the formula that will change the estimate, but this is just showing the customer what kind of discount that you have given to them. Now what you're going to want to do is right here in the the cell total, the total for the year round with the percentage discount. You're going to click on this cell and go up here and notice where it says E53. That's the cell number that this is. This is E53. If you don't understand all that, don't worry about it. Okay, I want to give them a 10% discount instead of a 15. Well, decimal wise, if you understand math, which most people do, but this could be confusing, it doesn't matter. Basically, we're going to do 10% off instead of 15. Well, 15% off of 100% is what? 85. So 0.85 represents 85%. If we want to give them a 10% discount, that means they're paying 90% of the total cost. So 10% off equals 90. So 0.9 would be the calculation. So what we're going to do is the total, which is in cell E53, times 90%, which would be a 10% discount, would equal what? 1935. Now see how that dropped this total down by 12, because you see G53, which is this cell, is the total. I'm sorry, G53 is this one here. E53 is this one over here, but the calculation here is 10% of E53, which again, if none of this makes sense to you, don't worry about it. All you need to know is whatever percentage you want to give off, you just multiply it by the decimal sign, subtract the percentage from the 100% decimal. Again, since this is 10% off, you're multiplying it by 90%. You're going down here, you're seeing that it's divided by 12 months. G53, which is this cell divided by 12, brings your payments to 161.25. Okay, so that's 161.25. Now, so that's a little bit more. They're paying a little bit more because they're getting a 10% discount instead of 15%. And again, hey, let's say you want to give them a 5% discount instead of 10. Then what would you do? What's 100 minus 5? 0.95 in the decimal system. So they're paying 95%, getting 5% off. Okay, so again, then you would need to go up here and change this so that the customer sees you're giving them 5% discount. Okay, now once you do that, you figure out the discount that you want to give them for going with a year-round total. Click out of the spreadsheet, and this is what the customer is going to see. You're going to actually give them this estimate so they can see what services you're completing, how much you would charge per service, how many services you will complete in each given month, the total that they would pay for that month for the total services that would be included. Actually, this leaf cleanup here, I don't have a number amount, so I'll put one time. Okay, that will change that. Okay, so the total here is with a 5% discount, as we see down here, because we changed that calculation, multiplying that 0.95, 95% of the year total with the 5% discount divided by 12 equals $174.16. Now, again, I round up or down to the nearest $5. So I would tell the customer it's going to be $175 a month for 12 months, and these are all the services that are going to be included in your year-round package. Okay, this is how you sell the customer. You can upsell them from just a seasonal contract if they're wanting these services anyways, if they want hedge trimming, if they want aerating. Now again, I don't include aerating and hedge trimming anymore. I just do mowing and leaf cleanup. I give them a discount for the whole year, and then I charge them separately for that aerating, for overseeding, for each individual hedge trimming. But you can add whatever services you want in this year-round estimate. Now make sure after you complete the customer's estimate that you edit where it says template here and put their name. Let's say his name is John Smith. Okay. Make sure you go up and you save it as John Smith. So we'll go up, we'll hit save as. This is a year-round estimate. So it says year-round estimate template. We'll just change this to year-round estimate. John Smith. You save it. Now I'm not going to save this, but just for the sake of illustration, save it. And then if you're going to send him the estimate through an email, then you'll have this for your estimate. And then if he gets back to you and says, okay, let's go with this, let's go with this year-round service, then I will show you how you can, in the year-round service agreement section, how you will actually cut and paste this actual estimate into the bottom of your service agreement. That way he sees what is included in the service agreement. And basically, all you're going to do, instead of having this as an estimate, at the bottom of your service agreement, you're going to say year-round service agreement calendar. So you're just estimating, I'm sorry, you're just editing what you had completed in the estimate. You're not changing anything. You're not having to do any more work. All you're doing in the service agreement is changing the name and information of what he's agreeing to. You're adding this calendar to the bottom of the service agreement, and voila, you can spit that agreement out to him pretty quick. So for the service year-round service agreement document, go to my training video on the year-round service agreement editing training video, and I will show you how to do that.